What's up, guys and gals? It's time for another chapter review for Record of Ragnarok, also known as Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, chapter 92. And this is basically another one of our reviews to play up on the catch-up stream, so to speak. We've been very much slacking, but we're here today, once again, just like the last video, to talk about chapter 92, entitled Promise. Now, this is a promise apparently Okita feels like he never fulfilled. And we get this beautiful little backstory. It doesn't need to be 147 pages, Beelzebub. Looking at you. This is the first time we actually, because we all know the story of the Shinsengumi. We all know the story of Okita Soji. Tuberculosis. He died at 14, 17, whatever. He died as a teenager. But we get one chapter. Just this one simple chapter showcasing him as a young orphan, taken in by Kondo, who basically took him in, realized he had something special. Okita realizes that he has this sort of bloodlust inside of him, this demon of bloodlust inside of him. And he can't control himself. And Kondo has to constantly apologize while he trains his sword skills. Okita just wants to be a samurai like Kondo. He looks up to Kondo. He thinks Kondo is the epitome of what it is to be a warrior, to be a samurai. This is humble. This is humility. This is fan-fucking-tastic, is what it is. And we get this surrogate father, surrogate son relationship between them established in a few pages. We already sort of saw it before even getting to this fight, but now it's confirmed. And it's alright. It's okay, Okita. It's okay, Soji, to feel like that. You know, you're not a murdering monster. You can be a true samurai, Soji. You can. And he explains what Bushido means. He explains what do you think it means, and what do you think, like, the direction of being a samurai represents. Like, what do you agree with and stuff, right? So then he grabs him on top of his shoulders and says, "Don't worry about it. You know, we will figure it out together. You know the answer. You'll find your own way and stuff." And Soji even asks, "If a monster like me, do you think I can become one? A samurai who simply fights for his beliefs, not a murdering monster?" It's like, don't think about becoming one. Just say, "I will become one." And that's all the inspiration the man ever needed. It's not even half a chapter of backstory. And it's like, here's the difference. Beelzebub is the most overwritten, worst character in Record of Ragnarok for the sole fact that he had the most amount of pages with the least amount of development. You can develop. Zerafuku is a far better character. Jack's a far better character. Soji here is a far better character because less is more. You can tell so much about a character. You can make a three-dimensional, a fundamentally character growth character in 9-10 pages if you write it well. Beelzebub is obviously horribly written by this argument because he had so many. And in these few short pages, we already know so much about Okita. And it's beautiful. It's fantastic. And we jump back to the fight. We see that, once again, after that devastating blow, the sky spells death. Boom! And it's like, oh shit, is his arm gone and stuff? And it looks to me like his arm is gone. Like, I didn't first notice that his arm was still there and stuff. But he's beaten. He's bloody. He might have cut off half of a foot of Susanoo, but Okita took the worst of that attack, and Susanoo thinks that the fight is over. Everyone thinks that the fight is over. Even Kondo Kondo grips his chest and says, Saji! And immediately, boom, Okita lifts up his sword and says, Mr. Kondo, I haven't given it my all. I haven't fulfilled my promise to you yet. And on the brink of that, Susanoo's just like, what the fuck is going on? He's standing, like Susanoo doesn't even understand. And then Okita gets up and says, I'm going to give you everything. This is not the time. This is not the place. I refuse to meet death. Not this time. And then we get another flashback. Oh, we're getting more to the backstory. Once again, this chapter might be the backstory, but it's sprinkled with pages in between. Once again, I just argued that this is done so well. Is that now we see Soji on the edge of his life. At this point, he's probably a young man, but he's dying from tuberculosis. And he's swinging his sword. I have to be useful to Mr. Kondo, to everyone, to the Shinsengumi, blah, blah, blah. We get the title card saying that he became far and wide known as the greatest swordsman of the Bakumatsu era, alongside of, the manslayers and yada, yada, yada. He earned his spot as the captain of the 1st Division. But that year, the Shinsengumi found themselves in the final battle and stuff. They need his sword, and he just can't. Okita fell. Tuberculosis. He's coughing up blood. He just can't do it. He can't fight on the battlefield anymore. He can barely swing a sword. It's sweating him just to swing a sword above his head. So he's trying. He's going on hockey. He's going on willpower. He is going to do this. And in the end, it didn't fucking matter. And it's just like, this man tried so hard. He was like, my friends, my family, my comrades, my beliefs, my units, I have the power to make a difference, and this goddamn disease is holding me down. No, it won't. And he fought, and he fought, and he fought. And you know what the funny thing is that this historically did happen. This is Terry Fox 101. Look up Terry Fox. Somebody who said, this disease can't beat me. And in the end, it did. Willpower is not enough. It's sad, it's a harsh truth, but it's not enough. And boom, in 1864, Okita Soji of the Shinsengumi had been absent from the front lines. He was bedridden with illness, and it was said he quietly took his last breath. And then we get the Ragnarok version of what happened. He still dies. Spoiler alert, he still dies. But is that really what happened? No. Nay. He believed there would come a day, and we see that Okita did not quietly just die in his sleep in his deathbed. No. He constantly, and we see this cat with an injury on his leg. We constantly see this, and he constantly is swinging his sword, trying to make sure that he is ready. He's trying to get himself battle ready while fighting tuberculosis, where there is no cure, there is no treatment, there is no nothing at this stage in Japan in 1864. And he finally falls to the ground, and he realizes that he cannot swing it anymore. Even the cat is recognizing, just watching on. I don't know what the cat is supposed to represent, but it's constantly watching. And then he hacks up a lung. He finally realizes, or goes to a plane, sort of like the Truth from Full Metal Alchemist. You know what I mean? He goes to this in his dying breath, while swinging a sword till the end. He ends up in a place right before a limbo, a purgatory, a place of choice, if you will, a train station, as is depicted in Harry Potter and then stolen from Harry Potter by Jujutsu Kaisen, etc., etc. He is in a dojo, and he greets Mr. Demon Child, who is, once again, it does not represent tuberculosis, but just represents the bloodlust inside of him, the murderous intent, yeah, that's the best I can sum it up as. The bloodlust. The bloodlust made manifest. A demon, as it were. And it says that the demon child was a creature born and resided within Okita. Now, in Ragnarok, we're to take that as a little more literal. There was a demon born inside of Okita. I like to think it was just bloodlust and resolve made manifest and sort of... And made manifest, it was a demon, but it was a demon forged by his own, once again, man-slaughtering ways, his bloodlust, his tenacity, his whatever you want to call it. And boom, it created the fighting instinct. Now he greets him here in his dying breath and basically says, you know, like this demonic strength that you held, it also ate away at your body. You were not able to contain this amount of strength for this long, and thus, you know, it's not there. Even though they state it's tuberculosis in the end, what they're trying to say is like, yeah, on record it was tuberculosis, but what we're trying to tell you is that it's demon-infused tuberculosis. Like, this man could not be this good without some type of fallback. You know what I mean? So, they have a conversation between the two of them, and the tuberculosis demon basically says, your time's up. Your skin and bones now. You could only hold my power for so long. And he was like, I was always waiting for my time to shine, to really let loose. I never got it. Kind of sucks. And Okita pleads and says, can I please, like, am I already at death's door? Can't I just go a little further? You know? And he immediately says, no. Soju, like, look. And boom, we see that this tuberculosis demon, this demon child, Mr. Demon Child, this bloodlust demon, is already eaten away from from his neck down to his hip. He's already been eaten away at. He's like, we're already dead. There's nothing more we can do. Your body is gone. You are beyond repair. We cannot fight anymore. And Okita dies. Hungry and hateful and resentful. He hasn't helped the Shinsengumi. It's not fair. He wants to swing his sword once more. He didn't accomplish everything he wanted to, everything he was capable of. He didn't keep his promise to anybody in the Shinsengumi. He's spiteful, he's hateful, and he's resentful, and he's right. And you feel so bad for this man as this cat, this black cat. I don't know what the black cat represents, but continues to look on as Okita dies, as the cherry blossoms fall. Saying, I haven't given everything yet. I don't want to die yet. Please, I haven't. I can still fight. Just give me one more, and that's it. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, in fact. And I don't know if everyone here is taking it for granted, but this fight, this chapter alone is showcasing that the storytelling is still right there, right up there, and the backstories are still hitting with the fewest amount of pages with the most amount of impact. And I'm here for it 100%, because then after this we jump back to the present. Susanoo can't believe it. Okita is on his feet, limbs and all, and he can still fight. And it's amazing. The crowd cheers, everyone goes nuts. The tuberculosis demon, the demon child, the bloodlust demon, whatever you want to call him, literally starts talking to Okita and says, alright, this time you really want to give it everything? He's like, yeah, and you're going to give me everything. We have an immortal body right now, or an undead body. So give me everything. And he remarks like, listen, even if we do this, we combine our power. If I give you everything, great, we might beat Susanoo. You ain't coming back from this. And Okita says, doesn't matter. I am a samurai. And it's so nice. It's so nice for a change to... It's not really a change of character. It's just a change of perspective here. In the fact that the demon child, Mr. Demon Child, as we'll refer to him as, because that's what Okita calls him, never actually argues with him. He states facts. He says, Okita comes to him and says, hey, I want to keep fighting. Demon Child says, look, I'd love to keep fighting. Your body's broken. And now we come to it again, and he says, look, I want to keep fighting. He's like, great. But even with that body, I give you all my power, you're beat up, we ain't gonna survive it. Just letting you know. And Okita says that's fine. But the Demon Child never is looking for a bargain. And this is why I don't believe it's a literal demon. I believe it's because it's not out for its own hide. It's not trying to survive on its own. It's not trying to overtake Okita. It's not trying to do any of the classic tropes. This is literally a manifested bloodlust demon. A sort of a bipolar disorder, if you will. Made manifest. And it's only looking out for its host. And it immediately agrees. And boom, we have Okita and supposedly the Mr. Demon Child meeting death together, and we have blue and red meet for the first time, and it gives his everything. Boom, we see it. Kondo says, I always believed in him while crying that one day Okita Soji would become a true samurai. The first division of the Shinsengumi captain is here and ready to face down Susanoo. And it's beautiful. Susanoo is just there for it. He says, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the fight I trained for. Okita Soji, I thank you. You are the warrior I was waiting for. So admiration, anguish, prayer. Put it all into your blade and let's go. This was a beautiful, this was a wonderful, wonderfully written chapter, wonderfully paced chapter, wonderfully drawn chapter. It's just a wonderful chapter. I enjoyed this chapter immensely, and I think I've said my spiel. So, we will be back here with a live stream for chapter 93. Which, once again, is not officially released yet. Yes, there are scans out there for 93, 94. I'm going to wait until something more official comes out. And then I will be live streaming 93 now that I'm caught up to the officials up to 92. So, but that being said, I hope you guys nonetheless enjoyed these 2 quick reviews. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys back here next time for chapter 93. Of Record of Ragnarok. This fight has been one of the best later fights after, round 4 that we've had in a long time. In the 3rd act, 2nd act, whatever you want to call it, however you want to deviate up Record of Ragnarok acts, it's the best one of the current act, I would argue. 100%. It's definitely better than the last couple of fights, so there is that. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you back here next time on a live stream for chapter 93. Sayonara, everybody.